and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. But first of all, a very happy new year to all of from all of us to you. And also, it's the beginning of the year, but some things don't change. In fact, we're debating a topic that we were debating all of last year, and it seems as if we're going to be debating for most of this year also. The opposition. This is also election year. Lok Sabha elections are this year. Can the opposition get its act together to take on the Prime Minister and the BJP? So far, the signals are not very welcoming, are not very encouraging as far as the opposition is concerned. They still haven't been able to get an alliance. They've got an alliance, but they haven't got seat sharing. They haven't even managed to get the dates of the meetings in place. Forget that, number of seats that are going to be shared. So a lot of roadblocks still to be faced. Can they overcome them in time? Joining me on the show is Rashid Kidwai. He is the author of 24 Akbar Road and a political historian, political analyst. Shekhar Ariyar, columnist and political analyst. Liz Matthews, she's the deputy editor at the Indian Express. And Dilip Cherian, political analyst and also a brand guru. Rashid, you've been following the opposition pretty closely. What is happening? Where are the stumbling blocks? They can't even decide. This is not the first meeting that's got postponed, as is what happened last week. Forget the names of the convener. There seems to be a whole lot of stumbling blocks in the way.
Yeah, so I think, Priya, there is very little ideological or kind of political alignment that was required. It has not happened in the India Alliance. There is no sense of ownership. What is India Alliance? Basically, they are all co-equal. So there is no dominant partner. Though Congress would like to take that position, but it's not there. There are 4-5 chief ministers who are happy. I mean, they are kind of politically they are secure. So there is no sense of urgency. There is no hunger. Now in the Congress also there is a kind of the three kind of leaders are there. There is of course Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, who's very well-meaning and he's trying to give his best shot towards India Alliance. He wants to play an anchor's role, etc. But there are very few takers. I mean, even the India Alliance members don't take Mr. Kharge as a leader of the Congress party. The leader being Rahul Gandhi. He is busy with this, second leg of this Bharat Jodo Yatra, which is going to cover 345 Lok Sabha seats. I mean, if you, count all the states that he's going to touch. Now, the Congress has at present 15 Lok Sabha MPs. I'll repeat again, 15 Lok Sabha. Now, Delhi is not going to go up to 30 or 45 or 60. So, in that sense, again, the second round of Yatra is, high on optics and very little on substance. So this Mr. Rahul Gandhi and a large, resources of the Congress party, in terms of time also is, drawn towards Bharat Jodo Yatra. I mean, the Bharat Nyaya Yatra. So therefore, there is no sense of urgency. So there is no ownership, there is no face, there is no convener, and there is no urgency. And that is leading to a lot of chaos. On the positive side, of course, a lot of, they have covered a lot of ground. There are over like 385 seats where there is near consensus, but then they have to come out and announce. Because I feel after inauguration of, this thing, Ram Temple, perhaps the government of the day may try to advance election by a month or so. If that happens, there's going to be greater, distress and chaos in the opposition.
So Ayodhya shining instead of India shining, and they may, advance the elections. But Shekhar, taking on from what Rashid said, there's no urgency from the Congress, and I agree with him because remember when Mamata Banerjee and Kejriwal said that let Kharge be the face of the opposition of the alliance, there was a working committee meeting the next day. One thought they would discuss this proposition, but instead they started discussing Rahul's Yatra and the Nyaya Yatra. So, this is just a distraction. Is the Congress not keen on this alliance working? What is your feedback?
Yeah, there are certain things these opposition leaders have been very candid. We will have to appreciate that. One, see, objective this time is very realistic. These parties, Congress included, know that they cannot work to win these elections. What they are working at is to reduce the tally of the BJP. Once if they can succeed in that, then they can hope for a situation where other factors will come to play post-elections, including turbulence in the BJP, then the other parties who are on the fence, like, parties like Biju Janata Dal, parties like your Jagan Reddy's party, then even KCR, there are other parties who are still on the fence, who could post-election change if BJP's numbers fall rather drastically. Now, whether this will happen or not, we do not know. And the second thing is, see, when Mamata proposed the name of Kharge, it was to the surprise of even Arvind Kejriwal, who had initially taken that proposal. See, I mean, this kind of throwing a googly at a meeting where See, normally names are proposed when you have done some background work, some informal consultations, then formally it comes. So obviously Sonia Gandhi and Kharge were surprised that she floated this name. And though we know for a fact more than 2-3 months ago, Kejriwal had actually gone to Kolkata and discussed with Mamta that Kharge's name, can get more votes because we could, project that we are the first ones to project a Dalit leader as a PM space and things like that. But the name, I mean, there could not be consensus on the name because Congress is at the moment not bothered about this prime ministerial thing because knowing very well there are ambitions among leaders like Nitish Kumar, and there are others, even Sharad Pawar. See, Sharad Pawar is the second person who came out and said after Kharge that you don't need a PM space. See, Congress is focusing on 225 seats. And of those 225 seats, 200 seats are where they are directly in conflict with BJP, and those are the seats that Congress must win on its own. Now, the rest of the seats, where there is a lot of focus, those 25 odd seats, spread over different states. Those are the states where a problem. But I don't think that is going to pull down the alliance, though it may affect its image as a viable alternative to Modi-led BJP. That may be the situation. But in states, the problem is in states like Uttar Pradesh, where the Congress also has ambitions, but Samajwadi Party is not willing to give more than, they want to contest 65 seats. That means 15. And that 15 will have to shared by Congress and your RLD.
Jayan Chaudhary.
So therefore, and the other problem is Bengal. Bengal, Mamata is very clear that you break your alliance with left, then I will give you 2 seats, and then and if I could give you more if you have an arrangement with me in Meghalaya. That she has made it clear. Whereas the Bengal Congress, which has already a good understanding with the Bengal left, see, on the ground, they have contested elections together in the a number of at least 2 or 3 by-elections they have been together. They feel that you cannot trust Mamata. And the Mamata's putting such conditions is essentially to, stop Congress chances where they feel like, say, in districts like Malda, Murshidabad, or Uttar Dinajpur, even Darjeeling. So, see, there is a basic problem. And Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and Mamata chemistry is too bad to be rectified the next 2 or 3 months. That's another one state. Of course, Punjab is a problem because Aam Aadmi Party cannot give, they can't sacrifice any seats. And the same vendetta charge applies there because local Congress leaders feel that number of cases has been foisted on them by the AAP government. So that's another problem area. So these are smaller problems, but overall, Congress will have to work on those 200 seats where there is a direct fight with BJP. And DMK again, they contested 9 seats last time in Tamil Nadu. They will get the same number of seats. Though individual ambitions are, they have been requesting Sonia to speak to Stalin to increase it up to 15. But DMK is very careful. They don't want to, lose seats where they fear if they give it to Congress.
Okay. So the list, that seems to be really the issue, that the Congress is in competition with the allies in half the states, and where it is in a direct competition with the BJP, it is found wanting. So is the weakest link in the opposition alliance the Congress itself?
See, Priya, I would say, even going by the past records and history of coalitions, this kind of issues are inherent issues, like, this confusion in the beginning and this pulls and pushes. It is a part of the coalition. Even when we have seen, even NDA, when it came together, there was a lot of this, who will contest where. But these are not, I think, the issues which I would blame or criticize Congress for. I would say that, look at this Bharat Nyaya Yatra, like the timing, their intention to win the seat. Like I agree with Shekharji saying that, obviously it is a foregone conclusion, at least from what we are seeing on the ground and what we are seeing around us. It is that it is going to be a BJP election primarily. And, and the opposition is trying to kind of minimize their damage, that is what it looks like now, at least now. At a scenario like that, what a party like Congress, I think, as far as I know, this Congress decided to focus on 255 seats, and offer other seats, like where primarily all these seats would be in the areas where Congress and BJP are fighting, are into a straight fight. So that's fine. That's okay. Like, at least, there are, you can sit across the table and discuss. But coming back to this Bharat, look at the timing of the Bharat Jodo Jatra, I mean, the Nyaya Yatra. It is starting at a time when this whole, issue, the whole nation's focus on Ayodhya. And, BJP and the government machinery are not something that you can just ignore, because they are putting 100% effort into, to make it a huge success in terms of perception, in terms of conveying messages, in terms of communicating, in terms of reaching out. The party is into that party machinery is into that. The government machinery is there to support them. So at a scenario like that, you are I was talking to somebody in Assam. Look at their dates in Assam. The Assam is a state. Of course, BJP is the dominant party in there. But even then, Congress can, because of the Muslim population and other issues, there are areas where Congress can consolidate their support base along with their smaller allies or other friendly parties or friendly leaders. But what are they doing? They are going through Assam at a time when the Ayodhya, the show is beginning. And who will pay any attention to it? The party is not, I mean, that leader was telling me he will go through this place where no one pay any attention. And also everybody's focus will be in, and the areas they have picked up, this leader pointed out it to me, that it is all that is very difficult for Congress to make a dent into the BJP support base. And the places, the sports they have picked up, the route they have picked up itself is like, I mean, it looks like, they just want to do a show, nothing else, that timing of their program, timing of every step they are taking. Even for example, I know among the opposition party, there was a view that when during the parliament session, when the winter session, they said, okay, when around, I think, 100 people were kind of suspended, there was suggestion from some opposition leaders that, okay, let's do something which is significant, something that will be very, maybe emotionally, that every opposition member should resign. What, I mean, you weigh the pros and cons of it, no? It happened in the past, when Rajiv Gandhi had that kind of majority, 400 plus majority, the opposition made a significant mark in the minds of people, that by doing that mass resignation. But the opposition could do that. They didn't do that. Even now they are thinking about it. And what are they going to lose? One session which is going to be vote on account, and February mid, the government is the election commission is expected to announce the election.
So they've run out of time, really, and they don't seem to be they're realizing the fact that they don't have any time. And how do you see the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra? Is it a distraction, or is it much needed? And as a brand expert, how would you see the way the Congress is playing the game?
I think Liz has just brought the elephant in the room. The decision on election dates is also going to be a significant factor in both the talks around the India Alliance as well as the Nyaya Yatra. To your question, is the Nyaya Yatra a visible sign of Congress's ability to mobilize itself? I think so far the Congress's estimation has been that while it may have no huge impact on voting patterns, which is what Liz has talked about, it seems to have some ability to mobilize its own cadre, dying as it is. So it's not a very large cadre, but there is a certain level of, shall I say, enthusiasm which it generates. Now, as far as the question of what is the imagery of the India Alliance, I think it's a good thing, as everybody has said on the panel so far, that there is a level of discussion, discourse, and debate. For the public, politics is about this. Politics is not about having decisions that nobody questions, whether it's in the choice of chief ministers, whether it's in all kinds of other decisions which are taken. I think people like to see, the Indian family likes to see, the Indian electorate likes to see the possibility that the people who are going to rule them, who are going to govern over them, have a sense of openness. I think that is a good signal. Now, whether this battling and push and pull at the edges, whether Kharge himself is in control of the process or not, is something that will be very clear. Unfortunately, in my view, too much of it is in the public domain. I wish some of these leaders had the ability to do the appropriate posturing around these meetings at least. That is a big disadvantage.
Okay, I can see Dilip rose-tinted glasses. Despite that, there is a little bit of skepticism also. But I'm going to take a quick break and come back and continue this conversation as to what the opposition is doing. Can it get its act together? What if the BJP prepose the elections? All that and more. So stay with us. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. We are here discussing the politics of the opposition. And Rashid, before the show, before the break, we began by talking about, in terms of the Congress. But what about the rest of the allies? Are they also, if the Congress is not getting its act together, the allies also being very selfish, saying each is guarding its own turf also. So can we really blame the Congress so much?
Yes, Priya, I think you've raised a very pertinent issue. I think the entire opposition bloc, that 28 parties, they are happy to be unhappy. So that is their state of mind. They are already looking for excuses. The Congress is going to be the scapegoat. In the Congress, Mr. Kharge is going to be blamed. And see, the Gandhis are politically, they may not be doing well, but they are politically, they are very sorted. There is a lot of, I see that acumenship as far as their survival instincts are concerned. So they are basically, continuing their hold of Congress party. I mean, from 2024 onwards. And this is something that many people tend to overlook. Now, it is sort of their worst phase. The worst phase is over in 29 or 34. Remember, in 2029, you may find this very absurd. But, Rahul Gandhi would still be under 60, a leader of, the age of, in the age group of, 59. So that's the time where Indian politicians tend to, start doing well. I don't know whether he will do well or not, but I'm saying that they just want to, pass through this difficult phase and provide some kind of, continuity in leadership, which they are successfully being able to do. And therefore, I think as Shekhar was saying, basically the whole talk is about, who gets what. The Congress has set a benchmark. If we cross 100 Lok Sabha seats, it's fine. Mamta is looking at her own constituency, DMK, their own constituency in their respective states. So if they are able to, get like 200 plus seats, and if BJP is 300 plus, it's fine. But I don't see that happening. I think that is going to be, if things are what they are, they're going to be collapse on the part of, opposition, and the Congress may do worse than, and I'm saying worse than 2019. So then that will be again, an internal, challenge within the Congress. But that's how the strategy seems to be, just to do the, minimum, because there is no stakeholder, there is no presidential phase, there is no convener, there is no urgency. I'm repeating that.
So there's Shekhar does, judging by what Rashid has said, this alliance may be a pre-poll formation, but in actual terms, it will work post-poll, because pre-poll, they haven't got any arrangements in place at all. Do you see it more as a post-poll functioning, the alliance functioning more post-poll?
Yeah,
Shekhar.
indeed. Yeah, indeed. Both Rashid and Liz have pointed out, the problems in the Congress approach to these elections and the question of timing. If the same thing had happened, say, a year ago, things would have been different. Or if the Congress had won elections in, say, in Madhya Pradesh, or come back to power in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, the narrative would have been different. Now, this time, and also on an issue like Ayodhya, the fact that Congress is delaying, announcing the participation in the inauguration of the Ram Temple, which I think it doesn't serve political purpose. You see, the fact is they got an invite.
Right.
They could openly say and said, look, this is a verdict given by Supreme Court. We have welcomed the verdict. So by that, you can take out the wind out of the BJP sails, which they are not doing. And then, there are leaders like, say, from Kerala, and then there are suggestions from allies like IUML. No, this is your moment of, reckoning, which you should not go. Now, I think Congress could have been, see, Congress is a centrist party, Priya. This is what Narasimha Rao always used to tell me. Of course, there are not many people in Congress party who would welcome his kind of wisdom. He would say that we are a centrist party. We are not a left party, we are not a right party, we are not a Hindu party, we are not a pro-minority, we are centrist. And this he told me prior to Babri Masjid demolition. I mean, I want to clarify that also. But you see, what has happened is, on an issue like Ayodhya, they have added more fuel to the BJP turbo, on this issue. See, straight away he could have said, yes, Sonia will attend. Whoever is to attend, let them attend and take the wind out. Because you see, Uttar Pradesh leaders are very particular. They are conveying to central leadership, look, don't dilly-dally on this. You say, yes, we got an invite, we are coming. See, after that, there will not be much of a discussion even on our television. Yes, Congress is going. It's part of the... See, after all, it is happening after a verdict. This is not some first Shilanyas. This is happening after a verdict, and already, it has lapsed 2020, the foundation was laid. So there are issues on which I feel Congress somehow is constrained not to come forth. See, you can still attend the inauguration of the Ayodhya temple, or you can even say, look, we can't attend at the point, we'll subsequently go. And then still stick to your whatever angle you have taken regarding the minority votes or whatever. See, but then they have been handling issue after issue to the BJP, and the BJP is good at picking it up. So therefore, I mean, this is one issue. And the second thing is, you see, there are states like Bihar. Now in Bihar, they are a junior partner. Already RJD and JDU are settling it out now. Now JDU is insisting it will contest 17 seats. Whereas the idea is 16, then they would get 8 seats, and out of that, I mean, for the Congress and the left, between that. Whereas Congress ambition is give us at least, because 8 means you will have to share, 5 for Congress, 3 for left. But Congress wants 1 more seat. So these are states where, look, you will have to accept the reality and not allow this. I mean, the problem is not coming from central leadership. Leaders in Bihar, they are more particular to say, look, how can we contest 5 seats? There are certain areas we have to put up candidates. So there are issues, of course, they may dominate the narrative now, but overall, I feel, see, as far as Rahul's Yatra, yes, timing is, I mean, he could have started off with a month's break soon after the first one ended. Then it could have generated. But I think Congress made the mistake of waiting for these assembly elections. See, in the hope if they do well there, they will have a better bargaining power with the allies. See, that idea actually didn't work because they didn't do well in those elections. So these are problems, but as I see it now, Rahul will generate publicity, no doubt, as Liz also pointed out. But it is again, see, a problem that Congress faces in the north is exactly the BJP faces in the south. You get crowds, but you have to convert into seats.
That's a good last point. But Liz, so then what should the Congress or the opposition, Ayodhya is going to be a dominating. BJP is going to play the Hindu card definitely. Where, they forgets the face, even the narrative is not in place. As you pointed out, they couldn't even come to a single issue to disrupt parliament with and make a, symbolic point. So how are they doing on narrative? What can they do?
See, there is the difference between the BJP and the Congress. Sometimes when I talk to BJP leaders, I feel that, they take India Alliance more seriously than the India Alliance partners or India Alliance itself take it.
It takes itself.
Yeah, because, I was talking to a senior leader the other day. He was saying, if India Alliance partners stand together in Bihar, it will be an issue for us. Then after that, I met another minister. He said, no, we are not taking anything lightly. So, see, obviously, not just the talks, we are seeing what they are doing. The day after New Year, we have seen the kind of meetings, they have formed committees, they have formed, multiple committees, one for election discussion, that committee will have subcommittees, then one for Ayodhya and, how it reach out to people and how it can be. Here again, where the Congress also, like the confusion, like at one side, the Congress is trying to take the credit for Ayodhya temple. Leaders like Kamal Nath said, no, it was Rajiv Gandhi who initiated it. At the same time, like Shekharji said, I would also say that the Congress has, and the opposition, I would say Congress-led opposition has walked into the trap created by the BJP. Because for BJP, what are they saying? When they're talking about Ram Jyoti and the help they're offering for these pilgrims who are coming from across the country, they're saying, do not carry party flag. But for BJP, you don't have to be like, say or party flag. It goes without saying. It is a subtle They don't have to even be subtle there. The message goes, the Hindutva just goes with them. And like now, BJP's narrative going to be like not just Hindutva. You talk about 3 issues are going to be there for this election. One is Hindutva, which again Modi is the person, the person, because with the temple thing, obviously it is Narendra Modi's image is going with that. Then development, of course, and governance. It is also going with Modi's image and India's image at the international, global scenario. Again, that is Modi. So for BJP, creating narrative, reach out and consolidation of the votes. These are the things. They are already done the first thing and they are into the second, they are already started on the second step, which is the outreach with, January 22nd. And then where the Congress and the other allies are standing, you are talking about, of course, why can't you just leave this kind of issue to leaders like, IUML or somebody, someone else for whom it doesn't make a difference, even if he makes a statement against the temple or politically. They are the Congress is, the Congress leaders, they are like, if you talk to them, we are not against temple. Okay, well, say it now. So I'm seeing the Congress hasn't even created the narrative yet. The BJP has gone much ahead. So that is there is the problem. I'm a person who still believe that if the opposition parties stay together and do take steps wisely, state-wise, BJP, it is going to be an issue for BJP in whether it is in Bengal, whether it is in Bihar, the states where BJP is trying to get more seats, like they have 303, and they might have some losses in some parts of the, like Karnataka, they might lose something, and there are other states, but they are trying to compensate with, and South BJP doesn't have much to expect also. So BJP is trying to focus on states like Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, where they can get more seats.
This is the main thing, Dilip, the narrative, again, you're someone who gives catchy lines and, what should the BJP, Congress do? Should they just wait for Modi to fall on his own sword or actually do something? Criticizing Modi doesn't get them any votes. People don't take kindly to that. What kind of a campaign should they run?
The fact remains that there are seats where the BJP is showing signs of being concerned. And that is because the BJP wants to increase its seat tally, not because it is losing any seats. It wants to increase those tallies. And I think that is where the target set by Amit Shah and Modi makes sense, because their party cadres know that it is no good meeting what we managed to get last time, but our targets are much higher. And I think that is where the battle is going to be. And if the opposition wants to get its act ready, it needs to choke off, as I said, too much of inner party democracy and focus on intra-party discussions, which the public actually loves.
Okay. On that note, in fact, what the BJP really wants to do is, I think, beat Rajiv Gandhi's record of 400 plus seats. Will they be able to, or will the opposition give some sort of a fight? That remains to be seen. But thank you so much for this conversation. And again, we wish you all a very happy new year. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.